urgent. You may not realize it, but something incredible is happening. Have you been feeling different lately, like you're no longer in sync with the world around you? The truth is, you could be on the brink of a cosmic shift that few people truly understand. What if I told you that you're not just evolving mentally or spiritually, but literally transitioning into a higher state of consciousness? Here are 8 surprising signs that you're shifting into the 5th dimension, where reality, time, and perception will never be the same again. Before we dive in, take a moment to affirm your commitment by commenting, "I am ready for the universe's plans." This video is divided into 5 segments, with the final one being the most powerful, so be sure to stick around. If this message resonates with you, show your appreciation by subscribing and joining our community as we embark on this transformative journey together. 1. Time feels different. The stretch and squeeze of the cosmic clock. Have you ever had one of those days where time just drags on, where each minute feels like an hour, and the clock seems to be stuck in molasses? And then, the very next day, everything flips. Hours rush by in what feels like minutes, and suddenly it's evening before you've even realized what happened. If you've noticed this strange elasticity in time, you're not alone. This is one of the clearest signs that you might be shifting into the 5th dimension. Time, as you've always known it, is starting to behave in very different ways. In our everyday world, we tend to think of time as fixed and rigid, a constant rhythm, like the ticking of a clock or the steady movement of the sun across the sky. We measure our lives by it. Breakfast at 8 a.m., work from 9 to 5, dinner at 7 p.m., and so on. But when you start shifting into the 5th dimension, this linear way of experiencing time begins to unravel. Time becomes stretchy, sometimes speeding up, sometimes slowing down, almost like a rubber band being pulled in different directions. It's like being on a cosmic roller coaster where the rules of time are shifting beneath your feet. This is a sign that you're beginning to move beyond the traditional 3D world, where time is experienced as a straight line, into the 5th dimension, where time becomes more fluid and flexible. Imagine time as a river in the 3D world. It flows steadily, always in one direction, and we follow along its current, planning our lives based on its consistent pace. But as you shift into the 5th dimension, it's like stepping out of that river and watching it from the shore. You begin to realize that the current isn't as strong or unchangeable as it seemed. In fact, there are times when the water slows down or even speeds up, and you're not obligated to stay in that flow. You're no longer just a passenger in the river of time. You're a conscious observer who can step in and out of that current at will. In this higher dimension, time is less about a ticking clock and more about a web of possibilities. Past, present, and future are all interconnected. And sometimes you might feel as though you are tapping into that web. You may experience flashes of déjà vu, moments when you feel like you've already lived through a certain experience, or intuitively know what someone will say before they even open their mouth. It's as if the barriers between past, present, and future are thinning, and you're able to sense time in a much more fluid, non-linear way. Think of it like this. In the 3rd dimension, we see time as a straight line, like a train track. The past is behind us, the future is ahead, and we're sitting in a train, steadily moving forward. But in the 5th dimension, time becomes more like a spider web, with events and possibilities branching off in all directions, and you, the spider, can sense every vibration on the web from any point in time. You're no longer confined to that train track. Instead, you can move in any direction, sometimes even experiencing past, present, and future all at once. With this new, more fluid understanding of time, you may also begin to notice a shift in how you feel about time. That constant rush to get things done, the anxiety over being late, the pressure of meeting deadlines, it all starts to feel a little less important. You begin to trust that things will happen when they are meant to, in their own time. You might find yourself saying, "I'll get there when I get there," or "It'll happen when it's supposed to," with a deep, inner knowing that this is true. This doesn't mean that you'll completely abandon your daily schedule. After all, we still live in a world where time plays a role. But the difference is, you won't be so controlled by it. You'll feel more relaxed, more in tune with your own inner rhythm, and more aware that time is not something that limits you. Instead, it's a flexible tool that you can navigate as you move through the fifth dimension. So, if you've noticed that time feels different lately, if it's speeding up, slowing down, or simply doesn't feel as rigid as it used to, congratulations. You may just be taking your first steps into a new, higher realm of existence, where time isn't a cage, but a flowing river you can choose to swim through whenever you like. Welcome to the fifth dimension, where time is yours to play with. Heightened intuition and psychic awareness, tuning in to your inner magic. Have you ever had a moment where you just knew something was about to happen, even before there was any reason to believe it? Or perhaps you've had a dream that felt so real, so vivid, that it lingered in your mind for days, only to see parts of it play out in real life later. These experiences aren't just coincidences. They're signs that your intuition is expanding and you're stepping into a higher level of psychic awareness. This heightened sense of knowing, sometimes called a gut feeling, is one of the most exciting signs of shifting into the fifth dimension. It's like you're tuning into a new radio station, one that plays the whispers of the universe, and suddenly you're hearing it loud and clear. The power of gut feelings. Everyone has intuition, but when you're transitioning into the fifth dimension, that little voice inside you gets louder and clearer. It's almost as if your inner compass has become more finely tuned and you're able to sense things before they happen. You might notice this in small ways at first, thinking about a friend just before they call you, or feeling uneasy about a situation that later turns out to have hidden complications. It's as if you're picking up on vibrations beneath the surface, like a dolphin sensing the movements of the ocean currents. Your gut feelings become your guide, helping you navigate decisions, relationships, and even daily life with more confidence and ease. Think of your intuition as your personal inner GPS. Just as you trust your navigation app to guide you when driving, you start trusting your own inner signals to lead you in the right direction, often without logical explanation. And more often than not, that inner compass points you toward the right path, sometimes even when it doesn't make sense in the moment. Dreams as portals. Another sign of heightened intuition in the fifth dimension is an increase in vivid dreams or even premonitions. You might start to notice that your dreams feel more real, more intense, or even more meaningful. These dreams could be filled with symbols, messages, or scenes that seem to speak directly to you, offering guidance or insight into your life. It's like your subconscious is handing you little gifts of wisdom wrapped in the form of dreams. You wake up with a sense that those dreams weren't just random. They were telling you something important, something that might unfold in the near future. Pay attention to these dreams. They're like letters from your higher self, helping you prepare for what's to come. Telepathic connections. The silent conversations. As your psychic awareness grows, you might also start to experience something that feels a bit like telepathy. Now, this doesn't mean you'll suddenly be reading minds like a superhero, but you might notice a deeper connection with others, where words aren't always necessary to understand each other. Have you ever had a moment where you and a friend or family member just look at each other and know what the other is thinking? Or perhaps you finish each other's sentences or share the same thought at the same time. These small moments are examples of telepathic-like connections that happen when you're in sync with someone's energy. In the fifth dimension, these experiences become more frequent and more powerful. You start to feel connected to the people around you on a soul level, as if there's an invisible thread that links your thoughts, emotions, and energies. It's like having a secret conversation without speaking a single word. Synchronicities and meaningful coincidences, the universe's way of winking at you. Have you ever looked at the clock and it's exactly 11:11? Or you keep seeing the number 333 everywhere you go? On license plates, receipts, or even in random places like street signs. You might have shrugged it off as a coincidence at first, but then it starts happening so often that you can't help but wonder, is the universe trying to tell me something? Welcome to the world of synchronicities, those little cosmic nudges that seem like coincidences but feel too perfect to be random. When you start noticing these patterns, it's a sign that you're aligning with the flow of the fifth dimension, where the universe speaks to you through subtle signs and meaningful encounters, numbers that catch your eye. One of the most common ways the universe sends you these little winks is through repeating numbers. Seeing numbers like 1111, 333, or 444 might start happening so often that it feels like they're chasing you. But instead of running from them, pay attention. These numbers aren't just there to make you wonder. They're often messages from the universe or your higher self, guiding you along your path. For example, 1111 is often seen as a sign of alignment and awakening. It's like the universe's way of saying, you're on the right track, keep going. It's a little cosmic high five. Seeing 333 might signal that you're being supported by your spiritual guides, while 444 is often associated with protection and reassurance. It's as if the universe has its own secret language, and these numbers are its way of sending you love notes from the other side. Coincidences that feel like magic. Beyond numbers, synchronicities can also show up as meaningful encounters or events that feel too perfect to be random. Have you ever bumped into an old friend you hadn't seen in years, only to find out they had the exact piece of advice or opportunity you needed? Or maybe you were thinking about someone and then your phone buzzes with a text from them. These moments aren't just lucky breaks. They're signs that you're in tune with the divine timing of the universe. It's like the universe is playing a cosmic game of chess, arranging the pieces so that everything lines up just when it's supposed to. Imagine you're walking down the street, lost in thought, and suddenly you see a sign, literally and metaphorically, that answers the exact question you've been pondering. It could be a billboard with a quote that speaks directly to your situation, or you overhear a stranger say something that clicks with you instantly. These moments feel like the universe is having a conversation with you, guiding you toward your next step, feeling like the universe is talking to you. When synchronicities start happening frequently, you might begin to feel like the universe is sending you messages. And guess what? It is. The more you align with the energy of the fifth dimension, the more open you become to receiving these subtle signs. The universe has a funny way of communicating without words, and synchronicities are its whispers of encouragement, reassurance, or even gentle nudges to pay attention to something important. It's like being part of a cosmic treasure hunt, where each synchronicity is a clue, leading you closer to your purpose, your truth, or something magical that's just around the corner. Trusting the flow, the beauty of synchronicities is that they remind you that you're not alone on your journey. They're the universe's way of saying, I'm here, I'm listening, and I've got your back. When you start noticing these little winks from the cosmos, it's a sign that you're in the flow, aligned with something bigger than yourself. So, the next time you notice repeating numbers or have a random encounter that feels like it was meant to happen, smile and take it as a sign that you're on the right path. The universe is always speaking. It's up to you to listen, trust the magic, and follow the signs. Increase sensitivity to energy, becoming an emotional Wi-Fi receiver. Have you ever walked into a crowded room and instantly felt overwhelmed, as if the noise, the lights, and the energy of the people were pressing down on you? Or maybe you've been around someone who was upset, and before you knew it, you started feeling anxious or sad, even though nothing had happened to you personally. If this sounds familiar, you're probably experiencing increased sensitivity to energy, a key sign that you're shifting into the fifth dimension. When you become more sensitive to energy, it's like your emotional Wi-Fi gets turned on, and suddenly you're picking up signals from everyone around you. Let's dive into what this means and how it affects your daily life. Feeling overwhelmed in crowds. One of the first things you might notice is that large crowds or chaotic environments like busy malls, airports, or noisy parties start to feel overwhelming. Before, you might have been able to brush off the noise and chaos, but now it feels like you're absorbing everyone's energy all at once. It's like being a sponge, soaking up all the different emotions, thoughts, and vibes in the room, and it can leave you feeling drained or anxious. Imagine walking through a sea of Wi-Fi signals. Every person you pass is sending out their own emotional signal, happy, stressed, excited, or worried. And instead of just walking through it, you're tuning in to all of them. It's no wonder you feel overwhelmed. This sensitivity is part of the transition into the fifth dimension, where you become more aware of the energetic world around you. You're no longer just feeling your own emotions. You're tuning in to the collective energy of others. It can be both enlightening and exhausting. Picking up on others' emotions. As your sensitivity increases, you may start picking up on the emotions and energies of others more easily. Sometimes it's so subtle that you don't even realize it's happening. For instance, you might be having a great day, and then after spending a few minutes with someone who's feeling down, you start feeling blue too. This isn't because something went wrong in your life. It's because you've absorbed their emotional energy. It's like you've become a human empathic antenna. Just as an antenna picks up radio signals, you're receiving emotional signals from the people around you. And the stronger the emotion, whether it's happiness, anger, or sadness, the more intensely you feel it. At first, this can feel confusing. You might wonder, why am I suddenly feeling this way? But once you recognize that you're sensing someone else's energy, it becomes easier to manage. You can gently remind yourself, this isn't mine, and let it go. Craving peaceful, harmonious surroundings. As a result of this heightened sensitivity, you'll likely find yourself craving peaceful, harmonious surroundings more than ever. Instead of bustling cities or noisy environments, you might feel drawn to quieter places like nature, where the energy is calm and soothing. Imagine walking through a quiet forest, where the only sounds are the rustle of leaves and the songs of birds. That peaceful, balanced energy feels like a balm to your soul when you've been absorbing the chaotic vibrations of daily life. You might also find that you prefer to spend time with people whose energy feels balanced and positive. Just as we naturally gravitate toward people who make us feel good, you'll start seeking out those whose energy resonates with the peace and harmony you're craving. Spending time with these people feels like charging your batteries, while chaotic or negative energy drains you. Physical symptoms. With no clear cause. When your body is upgrading, have you ever felt unexplained? Body aches, dizziness, or just plain exhausted for no obvious reason? Maybe you've had a weird ringing in your ears, or a headache that seems to come out of nowhere. And despite how off you feel, there's nothing wrong when you go to the doctor. If you've experienced this, you're not alone. These are common signs that your body is adjusting to higher vibrations as you shift into the fifth dimension. When you think about it, it's like your body is going through a software upgrade, but instead of downloading new features on your phone, it's upgrading your entire being to handle more energy, light, and higher frequencies. And just like with any upgrade, there might be a few glitches and restarts along the way. Let's explore what's happening. Unexplained body aches and fatigue. One of the most common signs of this shift is feeling physically tired or achy for no apparent reason. You could wake up after a full night's sleep and still feel like you haven't rested at all. Or you might experience random body aches, as though you've been exercising, even if you haven't done anything strenuous. This is because your body is literally adjusting to higher frequencies of energy. Imagine your physical self is like a radio, and you've been tuned to one station all your life. But now, as you shift into the fifth dimension, it's like someone turned the dial to a brand new station, one that has a much higher frequency. Your body, like the radio, has to adjust to pick up this new signal, and that adjustment can cause growing pains. It's as if your body is saying, "Wait, I need a minute to catch up." Dizziness and feeling unbalanced. Sometimes during this shift, you might feel a bit dizzy or unsteady, like the ground beneath your feet is shifting, even when you're standing still. This can be disorienting, but it's another sign that your body is realigning with higher vibrations. Think of it like getting used to a new pair of glasses. Things might seem a little blurry or unsteady at first, but eventually your eyes and your body adjust. In the fifth dimension, your connection to the earth and your environment starts to shift. You're becoming more attuned to the subtle energies around you, and sometimes this can make you feel a little off balance as your body gets used to this new, more energetic reality. It's like your internal compass is recalibrating to a new map. Ringing in the ears, headaches, and flu-like symptoms. Another common physical symptom is ringing in the ears. This can feel like a high-pitched tone or buzzing that comes and goes. While this might seem strange, many people describe it as a sign that their body is picking up on higher frequencies of energy. It's like tuning into a new radio station where the signal isn't quite clear yet. The ringing is just your body's way of adjusting to these higher vibrations. Headaches and flu-like symptoms without actually being sick can also show up. This happens because, as your body shifts to handle more energy, it can temporarily throw your system out of balance, making you feel under the weather. But unlike a real cold or flu, this Ascension flu tends to come and go quickly, and it doesn't usually develop into anything serious. Your body is upgrading. Be gentle with it. All these symptoms are signs that your body is going through a spiritual upgrade, learning to operate at a higher level. Just as your phone or computer sometimes slows down or acts strangely when it's downloading new software, your body might feel off as it adjusts to these higher frequencies. But once the upgrade is complete, you'll feel lighter, clearer, and more connected to the world around you. During this time, it's important to be gentle with yourself. Rest when you need to, drink plenty of water, and spend time in nature if you can. Your body is working hard to catch up with your new energy, and taking care of it will help the process go more smoothly. Think of it like a butterfly emerging from its cocoon. The transformation isn't always easy, and there are moments when it might feel uncomfortable. But once the process is complete, you'll be flying high in the beautiful new world of the fifth dimension. So hang in there. Your body is just catching up with your soul. Loss of interest in materialism. Discovering what truly matters. Have you ever noticed that the things you used to care so much about, whether it's the latest gadgets, expensive clothes, or even keeping up with the trends, just don't seem as important anymore? Maybe you've found yourself feeling detached from material possessions and wondering, why did I ever think I needed all this stuff? If so, you're likely experiencing a shift in perspective as you move into the fifth dimension, where spiritual growth and deeper connections take center stage. Detaching from material possessions. In the third dimension, we're often taught to equate happiness with things, whether it's having the newest phone, the biggest house, or the most impressive wardrobe. But as you begin to shift into higher vibrations, you start to realize that true fulfillment doesn't come from what you own. It's like waking up from a dream and seeing that all the stuff you thought you needed was just an illusion. Imagine you've been carrying a heavy backpack filled with things you thought were essential, status, possessions, and societal expectations. But now, as you move toward the fifth dimension, you start to notice that these things are weighing you down. You realize you don't need them anymore, so you start letting them go, one by one. The result? You feel lighter, freer, and more in tune with what really matters. This doesn't mean you suddenly give away all your belongings or stop caring about the things you enjoy. It simply means you're no longer attached to them. Your happiness is no longer tied to having the latest or the best. Instead, you begin to appreciate the simple joys in life, like a heartfelt conversation, a beautiful sunset, or moments of peace. Shifting focus to spiritual growth. As you lose interest in material things, you'll find yourself naturally drawn to spiritual growth, personal development, and experiences that feed your soul. It's like your inner world is becoming more important than your outer world. You start to realize that what's inside you, your thoughts, feelings, and connections, matters more than the stuff around you. Think of it like this. Instead of collecting things, you begin to collect experiences. You might feel a strong urge to explore new spiritual practices, meditate more often, or dive deeper into understanding who you really are. The focus shifts from "what can I have" to "how can I grow?" This journey isn't about rejecting the physical world, but about finding balance. You still live in a material world, but now you see it from a higher perspective. You recognize that material things are temporary, but your spiritual growth and the connections you make are everlasting. Craving simplicity and authenticity. With this newfound perspective, there's also a deep desire for simplicity. You might start decluttering your home, reducing the number of things you buy, or opting for a more minimalist lifestyle. This isn't just about cleaning up your space. It's about clearing up your mind and making room for what truly nourishes your soul. As you simplify, you'll also notice a longing for more authentic living. You'll want to spend time with people who resonate with your values and who inspire meaningful conversations. The surface-level small talk or relationships based on materialism just won't cut it anymore. Instead, you crave deeper, more authentic connections, ones that make you feel seen and heard for who you truly are. Strong urge to seek your true purpose, answering the call of your soul. Have you ever felt a deep, undeniable pull inside of you, as if something greater is calling your name? Maybe you felt a growing sense of restlessness, like the path you're currently on isn't quite right anymore, and you're being nudged towards something bigger, more meaningful. If this resonates with you, you're likely experiencing the urge to seek your true purpose. It's one of the most exciting and sometimes unsettling signs of shifting into the fifth dimension. When you're called to your true purpose, it's like your soul is ringing a bell that's impossible to ignore. Let's explore this feeling and why it's so powerful. Feeling called to something greater. One of the clearest signs that you're seeking your true purpose is this nagging feeling that you're meant for something more. It's like there's a whisper in the back of your mind saying, there's something bigger for you out there. You might not even know exactly what it is yet, but the feeling is strong. It's as if a magnet inside you is pulling you towards something greater than yourself. Imagine your life is a puzzle, and for a long time, you've been trying to fit into a piece that doesn't quite match. Now it's like you're starting to see where you truly belong. This pull toward your true calling could show up in different ways. Maybe you feel the need to switch careers, start a new project, or even move to a different place. It's not just a fleeting thought. It feels like your whole being is being drawn to this new path. This sense of urgency to find what you're meant to do is more than just a wish or a dream. It feels like a mission, something you were born to do. And even though the path ahead might be unclear, you can't shake the feeling that you need to follow it. Unexplained desire for change. With this calling comes an unexplained desire to make big changes in your life. Maybe you've been thinking about leaving a job that no longer excites you, even though it's safe and stable. Or perhaps you've felt the urge to move to a new city or country, despite not knowing exactly why. This isn't just about wanting a change for the sake of it. It's about following that inner nudge that's guiding you toward your true purpose. It's like standing at the edge of a cliff, feeling both excited and nervous. You don't know what's on the other side, but something inside you tells you it's time to take the leap. That's your soul, encouraging you to trust the journey even when it feels scary or uncertain. A sense of urgency to follow your passions. Another key part of seeking your true purpose is the growing sense of urgency you feel to follow your passions. The things you've always loved or been drawn to suddenly seem more important than ever. You might feel like you've wasted time in the past, focusing on things that don't matter, and now there's this burning desire to finally pursue what lights you up. Think of it like a fire that's been smoldering inside you for years. Now, it's starting to roar into a flame, and you can't ignore it anymore. Whether it's art, teaching, healing, or serving others, you feel compelled to act. This isn't just about following a hobby. It's about tapping into your soul's purpose and using your unique gifts to make a difference in the world. Serving humanity with purpose. When you feel called to your true purpose, it often comes with a deep desire to serve humanity. You realize that your life is about more than just your own happiness. It's about contributing to the greater good. This could mean starting a business that helps others, working in a field where you can make a positive impact, or simply being a source of light and kindness to those around you. It's as if you've outgrown the small day-to-day concerns of your old life, and you're now focused on how you can leave the world a little better than you found it. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect or change the whole world overnight. It's about finding the unique way you can make a difference, whether that's through your work, relationships, or creative passions. Emotional ups and downs, riding the waves of transformation. Have you ever felt like you're on a roller coaster of emotions, where one moment you're soaring high with joy, and the next you're sinking low into sadness? This emotional turbulence is a common experience for those who are shifting into the fifth dimension. While it can feel overwhelming at times, it's also a powerful sign that you're on a journey of deep transformation and healing, the roller coaster ride of mood swings. Imagine you're riding a roller coaster that twists and turns, taking you on unexpected drops and thrilling climbs. One minute you're laughing, feeling light as a feather, and the next you might find yourself in tears or feeling anxious for no clear reason. These mood swings can be confusing, but they're part of the process as you adjust to the higher vibrations of the fifth dimension. When you experience these emotional highs and lows, think of them as waves in the ocean. Sometimes the waves are gentle, lapping at the shore, and sometimes they crash with powerful force. Just like the ocean, your emotions can ebb and flow. Recognizing that it's normal to feel this way can help you ride the waves instead of fighting against them. Resurfacing old traumas. During this shift, you might also notice that old traumas, fears, and doubts are resurfacing. It's like finding an old box of forgotten memories tucked away in the attic. As you dig through it, you might uncover feelings you thought you had dealt with long ago. This can feel unsettling, but it's important to remember that this process is a necessary part of healing. When these emotions bubble up, it's your body's way of asking for attention and healing. Imagine a garden that needs weeding. If you don't take the time to pull out the weeds, they'll keep growing and choking your beautiful flowers. Similarly, addressing these old wounds allows you to clear the path for new growth and brighter days ahead. Take a moment to honor these feelings. Instead of pushing them away, try to sit with them and understand their roots. Journaling, talking with a friend, or seeking support can help you process these emotions and release what no longer serves you. Deepening empathy and compassion. As you navigate through these emotional ups and downs, you may also find yourself feeling a deeper empathy and compassion for the world around you. It's like your heart is expanding, allowing you to feel the struggles and joys of others more intensely. You might find yourself tearing up at a sad movie or feeling a surge of love for a stranger in need. This heightened sensitivity is a beautiful gift of the fifth dimension. You're becoming more attuned to the interconnectedness of all beings, recognizing that we're all on our own journeys and facing our own challenges. This newfound compassion can inspire you to help others, whether it's through small acts of kindness or larger efforts to make a difference in your community. Prayer for shifting into the fifth dimension. Divine source of love, as I shift into the fifth dimension, guide me through these changes and help me recognize the signs of transformation. Open my heart to heightened intuition and let me trust my inner guidance. Show me the meaningful coincidences that remind me I'm connected to all. Help me navigate my sensitivity to energy, finding peace in empathy, and grant me patience with any physical symptoms as my body adjusts to higher vibrations. Support me through emotional ups and downs, allowing healing and compassion to flow. Lead me away from materialism toward what truly matters: love, growth, and authentic living. ignite my passion to seek my true purpose, empowering me to serve humanity. Thank you for your love and support on this journey. Amen. Let it be so. If this message resonated with you, please like and share it with anyone who could use a boost of inspiration on their journey. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay connected with more uplifting content that encourages you to embrace your true purpose. Thank you for being a valued member of our expanding community.